Classism, racism, and colorism are intertwined in Jamaica. One does not exist without the other, and they are all the children of white supremacy. The intersection of classism, racism, and colorism in Jamaica is a much needed topic. And one of the things that I learned when I started looking into the history of all this is that integral to the whole concept of Jamaica's development post-colonialism was that we not talk about it. Do you understand? It was conditioned. It was a conditioning of the people to not discuss this. All the research on race in Jamaica talk about this silent topic that everyone knows, like everyone knows that this is happening and no one talks about it. And that's why anytime the issue comes up, you will see a whole bunch of people say, this has nothing to do with racism. This is an American thing. We have classism, yes. We have colorism, yes. But there's no racism here. A bunch of people are running up and are not understanding the intersectionality that is going on. Classism, racism, and colorism are intertwined in Jamaica. One does not exist without the other. And they are all the children of white supremacy. They are all born out of white supremacist culture that was handed down to us through colonialism. It took the United States more than 150 years after independence to have its racial reckoning with the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Jamaica has not yet had its racial reckoning. We have not yet gotten to the point where the majority of the people who are being marginalized, the people who are being denied access to the resources of the country they call home, the people who every day are subjected to the ills of racism, classism, and colorism in Jamaica. We have not yet gotten to the point where these people en masse are prepared to stand up for their rights against the minority non-black elite. This comment is similar to the black on black crime that Americans like to use to distract us from the systemic inequalities that exist in the country. What has happened in Jamaica since independence is that a small minority of the elite have much of the wealth and much of the resources, and economic opportunities and access to resources such as land is very scarce for lower class, predominantly black Jamaicans. And as happens in other countries, higher unemployment and less access to resources breeds higher crime. Successive governments over the years have ignored the research that recommend improving access to social programs that will not only improve the lives of impoverished Jamaicans, but would also reduce crime. Instead, they have diverted resources into policing and embarked on massive PR campaigns to convince the masses that what the country needs is never-ending states of emergencies, effectively turning the country into a militarized state. By getting ordinary Jamaicans to push the narrative that it's black Jamaicans destroying black communities, then it lets the government off the hook and they don't have to find long-term solutions that will tackle the social issues that are fueling crime in the first place. If it sounds familiar, that's because it is.